Hey guys, welcome back. We just had a lot of South American action.
Woo!
And we're going to shift gears now. We're going to move down to the SCA region.
That's some auto chess action. That's what we had.
Yeah, you did. I was not a part of that, and I am okay with it.
Probably for the better, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you missed anything there on me D-ranking.
I heard a lot of like, oh, you have that? Wait, what? That's kind of my general state when I'm watching auto chess. I'm like, what's happening?
But basically what it does.
We have some lower bracket action coming up next. We've got TNC versus Warriors Gaming.
This is elimination time. Now, this is actually elimination. Unlike I said before, this is day number 2. You lose this series, you are done.
Right. Yep.
That's what matters. So, and ultimately 2 teams moving out of SEA. So
any thoughts and predictions on how you think this is going to go down before we even have a draft?
I mean, in general, TNC shouldn't have even been in the lower bracket, right? But they just played at the major with Rior standing in for Cuckoo. And now they obviously have to play with their old offlaner again. And as we know from NIP, it's very hard to go back to your old offlaner all of a sudden.
Right.
So, yeah, it's going to take some adjusting again. And a reminder that this guy was more than just, an offlaner. He was also a big in-game leader. And they got to completely readjust to him again. So I'm a bit sad that they're in the lower bracket, but I guess it's understandable.
New patch and everything, yeah.
That is.
On top of it,
that does kind of even out the playing field, though, right? Whenever you have a new patch.
Yes, for sure.
What do you think, Breaky? What are your
I mean, losing a low tack right there. I also happened to notice, of course, Raven, part of low tack. So that was a bit of a, a former team there of TNC, and got some revenge, I guess you could say. But it's a bit of a storyline there in itself. But yeah, seeing TNC in the lower bracket, definitely surprising, because obviously going into this, you would think them and Fnatic are the top 2 teams.
Right.
So.
We actually had a whole conversation when we were first talking about SCA earlier about, who do you think is going to kind of rise out of these different groupings? And definitely we were saying, TNC and Fnatic, they look really, really good. But surprisingly, did get knocked down. But this is their time, right? This is their chance to get back in there, or it's the time for Warriors to really, prove their worth if they can knock them out. So
we can't overlook Mineski as well, because Mineski is a little bit more newly formed of a team, somewhat. But their roster: Ajit, Moon, KP, Febby, and Pylidai. So that's kind of this international flair.
I've seen some really good plays come out of Ajit before.
Oh yeah, no, Ajit. In fact,
really
he's former Warrior Gaming Unity. Funny enough, that we're casting them here, but him and Afu, I believe it was actually, now in the China scene. Ajit, carry player. I remember when I was first getting into the Dota scene, actually, it was around the Boston Major time, and the Warrior Gaming Unity played there, and Ajit was part of that team, and his numbers just off the charts as far as what he can do.
Really impressive there. I would have liked to see that Warriors team do better, but at the same time, I was on TNC at the time that they got their big streak of qualifiers, and they were so overwhelmed. For example, they didn't really have a manager standing by them at that point. So they couldn't really learn from all these opportunities they were getting, and they kept getting just outlast place, outlast place, outlast place. So that was a sad situation.
Yeah, so especially now with TNC in the lower bracket, I could see Mineski definitely being them and Fnatic ultimately advancing on. But it's a whole double elimination to go here still. So
we will see for sure. But we do have a draft going on here. We've got a couple bans. We've got the Magnus got banned out. Tiny, it's the Undying, and then also Elder Titan, Earth Spirit, and Grimstark. So it seems like they really kind of fear the position 4 over on TNC, right? You're going to see those bans come out.
Always fear Tims.
I was going to say, who is their position 4? And yeah. Well, for Warrior Gaming Unity, we're looking at Felix. How do you pronounce Galba? I want to say Galba. So, yeah, their roster, by the way, just to be clear on who Warriors Gaming Unity is: Nico Baby, their position 1. You got Nothing to Say at their position 2. Velo, Felix, Choiba, and then Kang, whatever the 2.
Kang.
Not names I'm too familiar with. Again, when it comes to Southeast Asia, I've covered them before, but yeah, these are names that I am not the most recognizable for. A couple of them at least. Velo and Nico Baby, of course, stand out more than the others. But
yeah, I'm pretty excited about this.
Has been around the place. Oh, Dazzle Terrorblade, look at that.
Dazzle.
2 very strong heroes, obviously.
So we got a Lich here. Are you gonna?
I'll get my Terrorblade.
This is fun for me because I don't normally get to watch too much SCA for like regionals because of like my time zone setup and things. But I know that they're very, very hyped. They've got some really exciting team fights that happen and whatnot. So pretty excited. But you get a Lich Jug lane is pretty strong, right? You've got the Sinister Gaze into Spin. You've got the Frost Shield. It's a good strong lane coming out from Warriors.
2 very classic lanes here, actually.
Dazzle Terrorblade, though, very respectable in its own right. You know, the idea of good synergy, bad juju, of course, amp up for Terrorblade. Shallow Grave, though. Given that Shallow Grave, it's almost like a Huskar effect where you give him Shallow Grave, and for those 5 seconds, he can be fine with his life pool. He doesn't mind if he goes low.
Yeah, you better have that.
Sunder off.
Better get that Sunder off, though. Yeah. You better have a fast Trigger Finger Dazzle and then a good setup so that way you can get the Sunder. But no Darkseer. Darkseer, we've seen a lot of play come out lately, and no Beastmaster either, so we're starting to see these offlaners starting to get banned.
Yeah, like Beastmaster should in most cases, like in my opinion, not even make it to the second phase of bans. That hero is so strong, it does everything.
Tidehunter, wouldn't be surprised to see a ban here on him. I think TNC has the 3rd pick first, so whichever team doesn't have the 3rd pick, no, it's actually, yeah, it is going to be TNC, so they do not ban Tidehunter and WGE, they instead ban the Centaur. I'd be surprised at TNC, yeah, they don't ban Tide, they ban Batrider, and they will probably, I can see Tidehunter here. He's not banned, right? Yeah.
No, he's not yet. That has been a very popular hero lately.
Yeah. I mean, you could take the Tide if you are ready to deal with an OD on the opposite side, because that is going to be like a very, like it's going to be an instant reaction, basically.
I'm just getting him ready.
But you could.
he's ready. He knows.
He knows.
I mean, they're thinking about it, but it's coming.
I have already spotted OD this time. I've noticed actually that if I first spot the lower tier, like in the not lower tier heroes in as in bad heroes, but lower tier like in the closet, in the cabinet kind of thing, I can actually see much better from here than when I'm sitting in front of it. So
that's true, because then you're looking at it from an angle.
Yeah, I need to scout better.
So you're looking at Pudge down there?
Yeah. Yeah, just staring right down his cleavage.
Oh, Witch Doctor. All right.
You were hyping up Witch Doctor
I was. You know, I like the fact that his Maledict, I believe it's the cooldown, got changed up a little bit, so you can spam it a bit more in lane. It feels really strong. It's also got true, I think it still has True Strike on the Death Ward. Did they revert that? I forget.
Shouldn't have, I think.
No, I don't think, yeah.
I think it still has a True Strike, which is pretty nice.
Super position 4, but I love this hero. Okay,
yeah, so he just got a bunch of buffs, too.
Exactly. This hero just got
Shadow Demon, yes.
At 7.21, he stood out to me the most, mainly because I've already been a Shadow Demon fan in general, but those mana cost buffs, so decreasing the mana cost on, I believe it was his Soul Catcher as well as the Poison.
Yeah, and especially on the Poison, that buff was huge. I think it's going to be offline, right?
Yeah. Assume so.
All right.
But yeah, the Shadow Poison for the laning phase specifically, that level 1 is now 35 instead of 50. And again, it's one of those, only 15 mana, but when you use it 5 times, that's 75 mana. And so, of course, the idea, you want to get to 5 stacks and blow somebody up. Shadow Illusion Creation for Terrorblade, fantastic. Again, I love this hero. Glad to see it. I did not expect to see Nyx Assassin. Wow. Okay.
This is fun. This is totally different stuff than what I've been seeing over in the SA region, for sure.
Yeah, interesting. Nyx. I guess that one should be over on my side. I was not prepared to.
So Nyx Assassin got that interesting change with the break effect now too. The Vendetta for the 4-second duration, I think it is.
That's pretty great.
You have the break now. Currently against this Radiant team, you're not. Obviously, the crit of Juggernaut, sure, but it's nothing too. You know, it's not a
like
Timber Saw.
Like a PA or you know.
It's nothing that you're really looking for. So that the Nyx Assassin this game. I suppose Spiked Carapace is actually going to be pretty strong against several tools already, or is this the Dares?
Well, Lich bounces and stuff like that, you know, if he's got the Frost Shield or the Chain Frost, that's going to go well against the Shadow Demon with the Spiked Carapace.
And here we have Brewmaster Lich, which used to be an SCA staple, and I'm glad it has not been forgotten.
Brewmaster's Purge is pretty good this game. Illusion Killer 2. Oh, that's going to be your side. Yeah, Tidehunter passed up at both teams. Did receive a bit of the nerf in 7.21, but...
I detect notes of disappointment.
Yeah, no, they're wrong. Like, no way around that, but no, it's not like... The Nyx Assassin is the big one for me. Nyx Assassin does feel TNC-esque, though. He does feel like a hero that I want to say they probably run more than others.
I mean, it used to be back when Sam H was on.
Yeah, that's true.
But I am not sure how much it is a Cuckoo specialty. Like, I've always liked Cuckoo more on the very aggressive offlaners. And Nyx Assassin asks for a little bit more patience, a little bit more stalking people. And Cuckoo is definitely someone who likes to pounce.
Okay.
I do think the Spiked Carapace is one of the bigger reasons they like the hero this game. Against he's not really good against Juggernaut though, right? So
it would be good against the Brewmaster though. If he can sneak in before the team fights come up and try to stun him by a little bit more time.
Yeah.
That might help. But of course, they picked the Nyx Assassin before they picked the Brewmaster too. So
and that, yeah,
it just so happens to
there's
work
something
out that
there,
way, right?
But again, the theme of like you'd also think with the Nyx Assassin, you want to be looking for ganks, you want to be aggressive. And Witch Doctor, sure, but Terribly Dazzle, they're not going to be roaming around, looking for kills necessarily. So it's trying to grasp
maybe this is a
around
very
this pick
aggressive
still.
Dazzle. We've seen Dazzles go mid.
I mean, it could be a core Dazzle. You're not wrong there, absolutely.
I don't think so, but
it could transition to that if they feel who has the last pick. I think it's TNC actually has the last pick, so yeah, they could transition if they feel the matchup works.
It could also be a block pick to take it away before if they want to pick an OD or something.
That's true.
They banned Kunkka.
Kunkka is that big lane dominator.
Huskar is still on the board.
Curious. It's funny that how the games that we just casted give us like no idea of what's coming next.
Well, that's the best thing about regionals, right? Is they all have their own meta, so you get to see different heroes. Because with the main stage, it's great because you see all these very high-skilled players making these great plays, but you still see the same heroes over and over and over. So when you get the regional stuff, you get things that are different that you might not necessarily see, which I think is a lot of fun, personally.
Yeah. Like this Nyx Assassin, like it's puzzling all of us.
Yeah.
That just makes me that much more.
We got our Shadow Demon, which we haven't seen.
The game.
I love Shadow Demon. Have we said that already?
Like,
it's a fun hero.
I've been pushing all kinds of people to just pick it. I want to see it. I want to know.
I played mid Shadow. I mean, even as a core, the hero could be half decent. Kind of a Pugna effect where it's this heavy magic damage dealer. Dragon Knight.
They're really playing it safe there. Now we've done that with Vega as well. Mid Shadow Demon was one of Undershock's specialties. Really fun. And even like you don't lose the lane anyway, but even if you do, you have the EXP talent, I think it is.
Yeah.
And you come right back into it, and you just deal so much damage.
So they were lacking siege, so that's where I think the DK does come into play here. And again, it's kind of that safe pick as we were talking about. Huskar does still stand out as potential for TNC. Against Brewmaster, maybe not something you like necessarily. Actually, Shadow Demon, yeah. No, they have some decent answers to Huskar, now I think about it. Pugna is still there.
They need something tempo, right? Because you need to make some space for this Terrorblade to come online.
Yeah.
And the Nyx Assassin is going to help, definitely, but I would like to see something maybe also
They have aggressive. A lot of protection for this Terrorblade. They could actually play him faster if they wanted to. With the Dazzle and the Witch Doctor.
Sure, they do have a lot of sustain.
Heal, and, you can push every meta if you want to.
Timber in the Dragon Knight matchup is very good.
Timber is a very
they don't have a lot of
TNC. Yeah, they don't have a lot of stuff.
It's what? Sorry.
Is an extremely good TNC hero. Armel loves it.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's like, that's his, he's going to be asking for that right now.
Oh, they banned Huskar, by the way.
Well, they were also thinking the same thing, right? But no, I do like the Timber. They don't have a lot of really good lockdown, right? You've got Dragon Tail. Brewmaster, of course, can, when he does a split, but Timber might not be bad.
It's going to be Timber. Tell it.
You said it was going to be tight, too.
Well,
I don't know, Breaky.
Heroes with T's.
Trying to
teach
these guys here.
So,
what about
once the piece is down, you can't take it back.
It's like real chess, right? You move your piece. Morph. All right.
Oh, very interesting.
That seems so greedy.
I mean,
that's a very greedy lineup. That's.
At the same time, TNC has always been really good in how these two core players mesh with each other, and you do have a pseudo support in the Nyx Assassin on the offlane, so there is going to be a lot of space there. Where's my morph?
Morphing into Shadow Demon, going back to him, is also an interesting idea, specifically with Soul Catcher. Talk about bursting somebody, down with that ability. Also, Disruption could come into play. I think Lich is another one you're definitely hungry for to be picking up, so.
All right.
Yeah, okay, Morphling.
All right, so taking a look at the draft. Gonna start with you, Ms. Kipps.
Oh, you're starting with me again.
Starting with you this time.
So, in terms of the draft, I think I like WG's draft more.
Okay.
But because this is TNC, and I know that on a good day, they can play circles around these guys.
Oh, wow. That's a big statement.
No,
all right.
I'm saying on a good day. I'm not sure if they're going to have a good day.
We don't know if it's a good day.
That's true.
But I'd like to.
Okay.
So I am with my boys TNC here. Always.
Okay. What about you, Mr. Break?
Again, I want to pick off of not really knowing the teams in the sense of I want to leave the names out of it. I do like the draft of WG Unity better. I think it's just it came together a bit nicer. So I'm going to lean towards them. They pick Shadow Demon. They know what they're doing.
All right. I'm going to go with WG just because, again, basing off of the draft, it just feels like TNC. If I didn't know them, it just seems too greedy with that Morphling. I'm not sure they're going to be able to have enough farm on the map and enough space for, the Terrorblade and him. Although they do have a lot of, really kind of selfless supports, which is pretty nice. But I don't know. I just like the draft a little bit better there, so...
I do not disagree at all.
But I mean, that's kind of the, we were talking during SA, I was saying, oh, but this guy's so good with this hero, and he's going to make plays. And, you have that insight with TNC here, so.
It matters a lot. Oh, and they're doing a switch up here. Did you see that? That is Timson and X Assassin. That Dagon right there. I'm not sure if he's the person I gifted the Dagon to. Maybe it was Sam H. Maybe he's got his own Dagon.
Uh-oh.
I gifted one of them a Dagon. Well, he's going to go down anyway.
That's a first blood right there.
Ouch. Looking pretty is not going to save you here. But this is Cuckoo on the Dazzle, which means it is a core Dazzle anyway.
All right.
Wait, really?
Yes.
All right,
so
all right.
TNC hit us with the switcheroo already.
Does that change our opinion now of the draft?
Hold on.
Because I'm liking it now with the core Dazzle.
Gabby on what am I missing here? So Gabby's on Terrorblade.
Yep.
Expected.
Cuckoo on Dazzle.
Cuckoo on the Dazzle.
So it's going to be an offlane. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I thought it was mid.
And I've seen him play this more often.
I like this actually now. I'm going to switch to TNC now that I know that this Dazzle's
No,
gone.
you can't do that.
I can do whatever I want.
I don't know. The core Dazzle, I wasn't thinking core Dazzle specifically as Terrorblade is.
That's 5
stats.
Ooh,
yeah, again,
Gabby.
you see that. It's insane.
Yeah.
You haven't got 5 stacks.
Hurts.
About Dazzle, though, specifically into the matchup against DK, I was thinking you don't really want that. So I was kind of staying away from a core Dazzle. But at the same time, Dazzle, in the offlane kind of makes sense. You get him that early Necronomicon, creates a lot of space, and it goes back to the idea of they're going to need space created. They have a Morphling and a Terrorblade, so I get it, but...
Yeah, my brain was stuck on the whole Dazzle Terrorblade lane, which is just a classic, which is why I wasn't thinking about this at all. But he's got his own healing support. He's got the Witch Doctor, and they're both getting hit by these Shadow Poisons here. That's double efficiency for so little mana.
Yeah, Witch Doctor, I don't think he had anything leveled up yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets that Voodoo Restoration at level 1. Oh, no, he did go Maledict. Okay.
Yeah.
And he's finding out right now that he can't actually trade.
Yeah, I don't know about going Maledict. Why did he go Maledict?
I do not know,
that's
honestly. Yeah, that's a dead Witch Doctor. I would think, you might go for the cask just because it's a little bit safe, defensive if they try to run on you. And then maybe, go Voodoo if you're really struggling in lane. But the Maledict seems too aggressive to me.
Yeah.
And clearly he's paid for it, so.
The Maledict used to be the right choice back when there was much more evasion on the Brewmaster. So what you do is you just Maledict him and you run him down. Because then at least your right clicks do something to him once you hit.
Yeah, but I feel like, too, when you've got a Terrorblade that's taking such bad harass that you really need to play very defensively.
Yes.
So.
It's a very strong lane that they got going against him. And at least it was the Witch Doctor going down and taking out all of the mana on that Shadow Demon. And not the Terrorblade.
That's the way you can look at it, I suppose,
Yeah.
So that mid matchup, DK's 9-0 versus a 5-3 Morphling right now. Can't seem too surprised at that. Of course, DK, when it comes to that Dragon Blow level 2 now, and I'm sure he's building up some bracers, so talk about just being a sturdy laner.
Yeah, he's going to be a tanky boy here.
Yeah, Armel won't have the most easy of lanes, but I expect it's going to be, with all Morphling lanes, it's going to be easier once he gets his levels up. Is going to be able to switch his attributes faster, and he can start last hitting range creeps with his nuke, stuff like that.
He's taking advantage of this arcane rune. Spamming that adaptive strike there. Over and over. He's getting low, but it's a Morphling, so never really too low.
It's a risky business playing Morphling.
I've seen plenty where you're like, oh, he's Morphling, he has a shift, he's fine, he just dies. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Armel is really very good at this hero, though. It's one of those heroes that actually both Gabby and Armel play, I believe. Just like the Timbersaw.
Yeah, again, elimination match, you would hope that they go for that comfort as well.
Which is why I kind of should have seen the Tims Nyx Assassin going. He is sadly biting the dust again here, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that spin is actually super good when he tries to pop that spike.
There's the Maledict on the Brewmaster. They're hitting him really
I think
hard.
he's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, level 1's not going to kill him.
No. He's got himself a salve, so he's just going to heal right back up again. It was good harass, though.
Maledict did get buffed. We were overlooking that a little bit. It's the cooldown, I believe, was decreased quite a bit.
Guys on the TV now. And his illusions are actually so much stronger now that he's also metamorphed.
He's dead. It's 3 stacks of poison. Even one more should kill him.
He's down. Yeah. He's down.
He's going to go for 5 just to be sure. But even at 4, I think he's dead. So.
Yep.
320
just
damage.
No running from that.
And that was Metaform still up even.
Yeah. Metamorph's down. Oof. TNC really getting hammered in lane 0 right now. Cuckoo is the only one who's actually winning his.
A nice regen pick up there too. Deny from the mid.
Yeah, it's probably not too surprising that Cuckoo's having a good time bottom lane, but of course Juggernaut's also working off of that kill. Nyx Assassin right now, this is the problem with the Nyx Assassin too. Levels is going to be a concern. He's level 2 still at this point of the game, and with that death slowing things down, he's trying to give Ninja, or not Ninja Boogie, but Dazzle that experience on Cuckoo. But if he's roaming around so much, not trying to leech experience, and all of a sudden he's going to be very under-leveled. So keep an eye on that. And if Nyx Assassin, he needs to get level 6, in a timely manner.
Yes.
A big thing.
Then again, what you also need for Nyx Assassin to do relatively well is to make sure that there's actually towers going down. And if they come out of the landing stage bad enough, that's going to be another problem. You want to have space for that Nyx Assassin to disappear off of the map. Instead of, being the one having your tower shoved in.
What does DK go for this game? DK is a hero that, we see a plethora of item builds. From Blink to even the Radiance build, Shadow Blade.
A lot of people swear by the Radiance these days, but that's a pretty big investment. And I think a lot of it depends on what the Juggernaut's going to go. So if the Juggernaut is going to go for like a farming item, he'll probably get, I don't know, Shadow Blade, something like that. Maybe even drums first. Just be fast, get those towers. But on the other hand, if the Juggernaut wants to go Yasha or something like that, yeah, you could see a Radiance on the DK. It really depends here what they want to choose. And I personally always like DK with initiation items. He's one of those heroes that transitions from push to initiation. There's not a lot of those, and it's such a big amount of utility. They were waiting for that. Look at that.
Level 3.
And there's a Maledict coming out. There's another rotation coming out here from the Nyx Assassin. Nice and pale coming through. It's a stunned up Dragon Knight, and I think they've got this in the bag at this point. Yeah, nice pull coming out here from the Lich, but just too little too late.
That was very good patience, though. You're right. That was because Witch Doctor's not level 3 there. He got a second point of Maledict as a result of that. They do not get that kill. So Ninja Boogie just kind of chilling nearby, leeching the experience, gets level 3, and allows that to happen. So nice experience play from TNC.
And they know that that DK is going to pop that ultimate and push the tower as fast as possible. So they know he's not going to back off there, but instead go in deeper. So he can't just sit on that high ground. The DK is not going to come back. And they were completely right about that.
It's good efficiency. Have him make sure that he pops that form so when he comes back to lane, it's on cooldown here.
Yep. And that is just the kind of thing that I wouldn't say that I expect from TNC, but that is what I like to see him do. Just use that experience.
Poison war over here between Cuckoo and...
Yeah, both of them, if they keep hitting each other, they're going to do a ton of damage.
Yeah. This is curious.
Behind enemy lines here.
Oh.
All right. Oh, I like the ward. Nice.
Armel's a little low. He doesn't have Soul Catcher. I mean, at this point, probably wouldn't do a whole lot anyways. But.
This is just preparation for the second time that the DK pops his ult. They're not going to let that little surprise attack happen to them. Again, DK is too important for their tempo. Man,
Vlad's got nerfed in that patch with the headdress no longer being a part of it, but we're still seeing it picked up nearly every game, I feel like.
Well, it's still really, really good, especially if you've got like an early fighting pushing lineup.
Yeah.
So, it was definitely excellent when you had the headdress there for the regen, but it's still nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, like the armor
just isn't like as high of a
sustainability. Oh,
yeah, it looks like Dazzle might be in for some troubles trying to get over to that Roche, but no, Cuckoo gonna get taken down here.
Yeah, and that's the off-laner rotating indeed to hold this mid lane.
We got the split up here. Morphling gonna get stunned up by the Dragon Tail. They'll go throw him in the bubble.
Bellows zoning out the Witch Doctor too. from helping.
And they're just totally ignoring this Morphling for the most part. Just want to focus on taking down the tower. Nice cast getting thrown out here, but they don't even care about Armel, it feels like. They're like, all right, let's just take this tower. Let's make some space on this map. Let's get some room.
This is such, like, disciplined smart play, honestly. Like, can you imagine the amount of people that would have been like, oh,
just dive after, right?
Kill him.
Yeah.
They could have wasted so much time there, but instead they get the enemy mid tower, and now there's going to be this dent in TNC's field of play all the time. That mid wave is going to be shoved in, and someone's going to have to show to deal with that. There's so much information.
This was the worry of the draft, though, from TNC, wasn't it? It was a much greedier draft with that Morphling and Terrorblade. Again, even Dazzle, he's playing a core, but he still needs some decent farm, at least to get the early Necronomicon to get the split push presence. But WG Unity, they're controlling tempo early on, and they're looking to find a kill here on Ninja Boogie. Cask bouncing around back to Shadow Demon, helping him for the time being, but that gaze, the range on that sometimes just seems ridiculous. And Nico, baby, picks up the kill.
That's nice. It felt like he was just kind of in the neighborhood, and they're like, hey, we brought you a present.
Yeah.
Stop farming for a minute.
Yeah, that wasn't even a bounty rune. That was just in the area.
Just in the area, yeah.
Oh, and he's looking for
Cuckoo.
Does he have Omni still? He does.
Yeah.
No Shallow Grave. No, they don't know that.
He's not sure about that, yeah. You might as well just get the spin. Maybe just Lich have the mana for.
And this is a kill, easy.
Yeah, it doesn't even need to. Sure about that Frost Shield coming out there at the end.
Instead, that is Armel rotating.
It's a dead Brewmaster.
Yep. And this is the kind of play that I love from Armel. He actually, a lot of people sit back on that Morphling, waiting, you know, okay, I can hyper carry this late game, it's fine. No, you already have that guy, so play your Morph faster. And he totally does. It's like, all right.
Morph it into the Brewmaster there. Using the Cinder Brew and taking advantage of the Adaptive Strike synergy there, as far as the magic damage igniting.
Very clever. And are they trying to def this tower? Like, by the minimap, it looks like they are.
No, they shouldn't.
No, TNC is coming in. Look at this.
I mean, they're going to try, I suppose. Okay, they're going to respect it. Thought for sure.
I don't think they necessarily need to really protect that as with the full rotation, right?
No. Like, I don't really think that's worth it normally, but I guess that with the mid lane being down, they value their other outer towers a bit more highly. Could be.
Yeah, because now Morphling's just kind of walking around, and they're going to come as 5 anyways and finish the tower. So, yeah, definitely in hindsight, not really the best move. In fact, if he dies on top of this, Omni Slash is ready, but Armel keeping his distance, so easy tower kill. But why not? Why would they stop? Healing Word put down. They're going to keep going. Elder Dragon for plenty of time.
That is
Five-man Dota.
Full 5, yes.
Yeah.
I was about to say.
Ninja Boogie, he's like, oh man, I'm sure he's like, oh, I could get so many good cast bounces right here, but a little bit of scouting going out with that Shadow Poison.
Terrorblade did get stunned early on, so and they have Vendetta.
Mix assassin.
Ooh, Melodic going to be taken away immediately around the Primal Split. And now Ninja Boogie on the sides, found by Shadow Demon. Frost Shield on top of him. He's healing up a little bit, but it's not going to be nearly enough. That's an easy tier 2 tower kill. Armel lifted up as the Dragon Tail stun came out, so the synergy not the best right there. But, I mean, they got the tier 2, and again, it goes back to what TNC, they're kind of just watching their tower die.
Oh no, don't walk up that high ground.
Oof. And a TP.
That could have been way worse.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's very risky. At least the Terrorblade got some space out of all of that, but that's not a lot of space, and that's 2 towers gone in the span of a minute. They just needed 1 catapult, brought 5 people. Excellent work.
Yeah, they're losing real estate, and like the top tower is getting wailed on now by a Cardi.
I mean, that's fine though. I think that if the TB had been top, but I'm guessing that he was farming nearby that that clash there, just in case the TNC gets a good engagement, they can actually go 5 versus 5. Whereas if he's in the top lane split pushing, they can never take that fight. So they're like, they were hedging their bets there, and they lost, unfortunately.
Double damage being picked up here.
Yeah, and I see both cores moving towards top to meet up with this Juggernaut. They're going to take this last outer tower. And it's going to cost WG a little bit in levels because they're grouping up so much. But honestly, who cares at this point? They're winning so hard.
Switch Doctor.
Boogie doesn't even have a Death Ward yet. He's got a Nyx Assassin nearby, though, opening on a Shadow Demon.
Nearly double stunned.
Disruption put under, but yeah, only hitting the 1 right there. Maledic taking down a little bit, but he's not overall too concerned. But again, while this is happening, that top tier 1 going down, they're going to start pressuring that tier 2 as a double damage still active. There's the Elder Dragon form. And another case, does TNC truly defend this? Omni Slash is ready, he's running, and he's going to pop it. There's a creep wave, though. It will bounce over to it. Nice up with the spike carapace, but the spin on top. The Dragon Tail comes out eventually. An easy kill and a Nyx Assassin in the long run. And now they're definitely getting a free tower.
3 cores again. At least Armel takes the trade here on bottom, and they're going to push for this next tower as well. He's going to be hitting this tower really hard. And they're doing this only with 2, while the enemy is going to do it with 4 on the top lane. They still have Gabby farming.
We're seeing the item progression, too, of the cores on the Radiant side specifically. I saw Shadowblade being built by DK, so going more for the initiation. I also like the Maelstrom option on Juggernaut. It's kind of it's like a poor man's Battle Fury in a sense, but great, you know, magic damage against a hero like Terrorblade, and also the attack speed benefiting the Omni Slash ever since their rework.
Yeah. Like, well, there's another missed synergy.
Oh boy.
It's the second time the Dragon Tail has hit nothing, essentially.
Yeah, we gotta get the split off, though, over here. We'll turn over.
Armel turned into a Brewmaster, but he can't really do anything with that right now.
Mines can create a little chaos, right?
Yeah. More like just soaked up a whole bunch of damage.
Yeah.
Gabby actually does want to fight, but when are they going? Right now.
Cuckoo with the Grave. Gonna be good for the time being. Velos trying to commit for the kill, but might come at a cost to. In fact, it absolutely will. Going too deep for that kill on the Dazzler. Good job with the Shallow Grave and allowing for the turn. So the 1 for nothing in that fight. Not the most casualties, of course, but solid fight for TNC and Terrorblade being involved.
TNC just always fights really very well. I really like how Armel sort of cut that fight into 2 pieces by moving in. They're always taking that risk.
Dazzle, by the way, he went Mana Boots, and now he's going to go Hand of Midas. So we're not going to see the Necronomicon.
Okay.
Early on, at least.
Now, that is like... I was about to say, I'm not sure if you were going to see the Necronomicon from him, because Goku's always been a little bit of a different kind of player, right? Different style. I wouldn't be... You know, he's gone a 4-staff on Quap once just because they were against the Clockwork. I love that kind of stuff from him. It's like, all right, I need to itemize for this game, yeah. But I don't feel like a Midas adapts to anything.
Yeah, well, it's like, it's almost kind of counterintuitive because they're already a very greedy lineup. It's just even more greed on top of that now. So, I mean, in the long run, absolutely, it could pay off. But there's now even more of a window, it feels like, for WG Unity to be like, okay, you know, we don't need to worry about that split push presence of Dazzle early on in the game. We can keep this going now.
Yeah. Like, I would have.
Look at them just waiting up here. They have the blink now up and running over on this DK that they haven't revealed yet.
Oh.
So, and I like that. I was gonna wonder. Oh, they actually TP. They're TPing out. Trying to go bottom, trying to grab Armel maybe. No?
DK stopped it.
Yeah, he cancels it out. He turns around. Oh, the Witch Doctor, perhaps.
Right, are we getting going on?
Yeah, I think that was the Witch Doctor.
He's got the Maledict on him, so they cancel it out. Oh, and the double damage. Oh, what?
What are you doing?
Why did you let that happen? Hello?
I don't even get what he was trying to accomplish right there. He was kind of just toying with him a little. He doesn't have a bottle, does he?
Well, they're gonna lose this. Bottom tower to Armel.
And this is a problem because I think WG is still feeling really good about themselves, feeling strong in control, getting a kill possibly on Kukuir. Now he's gonna TP out now. He's easy Kapka, as they say over in Russia. Anyway, the thing is, they probably think that they are pretty friggin' far ahead right now. They feel powerful, they got all these towers, but TNC has been keeping Gabby out of these fights really well, and he's actually just doing fine on the net worth, and Armel is as well. So now they're in this position where they're probably playing much more confident than they actually should be.
I don't know if that was the play of him to be there, though, Armel. He's not dead. He's actually still alive. Not by much, but he's trying.
He's dead.
Dazzle trying to keep him alive, but that was the morph lane.
That was not the play. Anyway, there is not actually a gold advantage for the Radiant right now.
It's a dead Dazzle too, because he already used the Shallow.
So is this what they call like the caster curse or something?
Yes, you were just talking about that, and sure enough, welcome to more of the casting here, Kips.
Don't worry, we've all been through the rite of passage. We're like, yeah, this is totally what's gonna happen. Everything goes wrong. So
it's not even like it might actually logically follow. You know, TNC knows that they've survived the most dangerous part of the game, and they're gonna only become stronger now. But yeah, as it turns out,
he's not gonna make it.
Extra confidence.
Nope.
Oh. Ouch.
Wait for it.
He's about to pop.
Yeah. About to make a big mess.
A big. So, yeah, anyway. at least they've got a couple of towers down, so, and they also got towers down on their side, I guess, but there's a lot of dark space on the map now for this, whatchamacallit, this Nyx assassin to play around in. Trust me, to get even worse with those hero names as time goes on. This is going to be like around 9 o'clock, this is going to be real good. You know those mums that mention like all 5 of their children and their dog before the name of their husband?
Right, yeah. That's going to be you with Dota Heroes. That's fine. That's fine. Do get the Maledict over here onto the Brewmaster. He's going to try to run himself out, but he is going to get taken down. A little bit of a skirmish. Looks like they use the Chain Frost. Gets a couple nice bounces, but are they going to be able to finish it off? Yeah, they'll find it with that fire coming out here from the Dragon Knight. Get the Metamorphosis popped over here.
Doesn't have Omni on Juggernaut, so not really looking to run in, but DK's wanting to chase. Has the blink coming up.
Looks like Ninja Boogie is going to be his choice of prey. Whoa, ankle's broken. Hello. Nah, they found him.
He kind of juked himself there, though. They can go further. Yeah, Cuckoo very wisely TPing out there.
Ooh, and we lose Kong on the backhand there.
Alright, so I guess that makes you the 1-for-1. And the lanes are not too bad for TNC right now, but you can see Ninja Booging drawing again already. Alright, you play here, push out this. Top lane, you go there. And I really like that very clear communication from TNC. It's just...
Vanguard on the Brewmaster. So I assume that's going to turn into a Crimson Guard here.
Yeah.
Eventually. Great against Terrorblade, of course, alone, but we'll see that coming out. Speaking of the aura theme, and that's something that the Dire team is going to be lacking, right? Where TNC, they don't have that aura builder unless Dazzle started to build it now with the Hand of Midas, but...
I think Dazzle's still a ways off on that.
He is going mech. Okay, so he's going to go Guardian Greaves.
Okay.
Which does help.
Which is the build that I expected to see from him. And I guess they're just... Oh, Teams. Cheeky.
When that rune just disappears in front of you.
Yeah. I think in general in this game they're even cool with losing a Rax. If it means that they get to drag this game out longer, because Gabby has by now overtaken the Juggernaut.
Looking good.
Juggernaut's going to full Mjolnir though. He finished his Manta style. So his farm is going to continue to be impressive. But yeah, this first Aegis especially is going to be telling of how this game could continue to play out here. WGED. I think it's safe to say that they want to break the base with this Aegis.
It looks like we had the question of who's going to be the aura builder coming out on TNC, and it looks like it is going to be the Nyx assassin. He picked up the Vlad, so
okay,
we'll start to see that coming out probably. Although he does have a Blink Dagger queued up, that counter initiation or regular initiation too.
Get in the jump, yeah.
I mean, they don't really have any great initiation otherwise. If you look at their draft, right? Maybe you throw out a cast, get lucky. It's really
it's a very
relying on Nyx.
It's very laid back in that sense. It's just like, all right, come at us. We'll deal when you're here. And one of the things that requires is a great sense of timing. Like you gotta be cheekily sapping EXP there. But it requires a great sense of timing because if you want to set up for defense, like it already says so in the setup part, you gotta already be there when they hit your base. So you can't just be farming another camp or, you know, getting some more damage on their tower. You have to actually be in position for their defenses. So a lot of this requires on discipline from TNC.
Where is though? Trying to get sneaky up here. They spot out the Terrorblade. There's no one around in these woods though right now, so
I think Gabby smelled a bit of a trap.
Danger?
Yeah. Spider sense is
Oh, the jump forward though. They want to take out this Witch Doctor. Nice and easy like. He's out of here. Armel gonna have to run himself away.
Here's that push though we're talking about. Start breaking now.
They needed only one pick off and I got it now.
No buyback on Witch. He's out for 20 seconds. Metaform, I assume, should be ready here for Terrorblade. So if they do pick a fight, it is ready.
He's gonna spend a little time hanging out in the air though for now.
Armel took over the DK, gonna take a Dragon Tail stun himself this time. Omni Slash has not been used just yet because the Frostio comes out and runs away. So they're holding. TNC doing a pretty good job at actually holding right there, and with the fortification and Witch Doctor resurrecting, they are gonna keep their tier 3 alive once again.
Yeah, they do have some unhealable damage though on that tower.
Yes.
So.
Next time around though, they might actually be able to threaten the buildings of Unity on the other side of the map.
No, they spotted out. I think that, did that ward spot? Yeah. Uh-oh. Lich? Hello?
Tim's just coming to say hi.
Yeah. That was a dire sentry, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's a great hit, but I don't think he went close enough for that one.
Yeah, it is there. Yep.
But either way, not going to be a kill. This could be a kill, though.
Yeah. Oh, he's running out of there pretty fast. It's a lot of damage coming out here from the Death Ward and the Maledictix. He doesn't actually have any mana on him either. Slash gonna get used over here, followed up with that Lich ulti. These are some nice bounces here. Looks like they'll find themselves another kill. They'll take down Tims.
This is just too opportunistic from TNC. Like, as you said before, they don't have any initiation.
Yep.
So, yeah, sure, the Witch Doctor finds that cast, but there's no burst damage with the Maledict. That's not how it works. Takes a long time, and then all of the backup of the world is going to come in, and this is how you actually lose that mid tower. It's a little bit sloppy. Hey.
Again, ideally Terrorblade would be taking off now, especially, you know, being first in the game, and he is, but Juggernaut is very, very close to him still.
Yep.
Goes back to that full Mjolnir, I believe, is being delivered out. Yeah, gets it right there. And SNY also delivered to the DK, so yeah, this Juggernaut, Nico Baby is going to continue to skill quite a bit himself.
Yeah, they're keeping up the tempo. No big greedy items here. It's all nicely built up.
And something else we're going to start seeing, I'm sure, more of too, just disruption coming out from Shadow Demon to create the illusions of Juggernaut, push out lanes with it, farm with it, and also against the Terrorblade, use it against himself.
Yes.
I just feel like again, we go back to the whole initiation bit, and I feel like just Warriors game, they're taking really smart fights for the most part, because they have the upper hand, or they, you know, unfortunately for the side of TNC, somebody gets caught out at like the last second, and then they can't follow up fast enough and get in there.
And losing this shrine is really going to gimp TNC's ability to do that split pushing that they are so fond of.
That's a great shrine to take out too at the Roshan area. So when that tier 2 Roshan does come up.
I don't think he can.
That courier, yes, where is this going? Going all over the brew. Got to be careful when you're dealing with the Nyx Assassin on the other side to do that, but yeah, am I gonna hear?
Yeah, there it is. Just some dust. Could be worse. Could be worse. But Tims might be in for some trouble here. He's gonna try to TP out. Dragon Tail's gonna come through, and that's gonna be one squishy bug, I think. Still alive actually though, but nope. Nico Baby squashes him.
It's killing a courier is always a nice injection of gold towards your team, though, and it's also usually a morale booster.
Yeah, it's very satisfying, right?
Oh yes,
especially when you dunk a courier. Oof, feels good.
So Terrorblade feeling he needs to go into the very early BKB. He went the Manta style first, but you know, right into the BKB after the fact. And I can see why. Definitely, there's a lot of control in this game on the other side, and even some decent damage. So, but it's never the best feeling in the world when you have to get that earlier BKB.
Well, I mean, you do what you got to do to win, right?
Yeah. Now the question is how many uses we're going to see of it earlier on. I don't think he's used it yet. So it should still be the 10 seconds. Another Hannah Midas use coming out. Yeah, there you go, the confirmation. But another shrine. They're going to take out both shrines at this point.
They're really just taking over this map, and I like this movement that we're seeing coming out from Warriors because, again, it's a very greedy lineup from TNC. If you can't be safe in your own woods, how are you supposed to get that farm up so you can get anything done?
Careful now, TNC. You don't want to overextend here.
Nope. They're going for it anyways. Uh-oh, Tims.
Yeah, so I'm coming from miles away.
A dodge.
There's a spin coming out here from the Jug. They're still really focusing hard over on this Nyx Assassin, even though they do have that split. Shallowgrave's going to get used. Morphling going to try to waveform himself through
he jumped
here.
into the Juggernaut.
Goes right into the Jug, and he gets the Omni Slash off. He's out of here. He's toast. Now they're trying to run out. Tim sitting very, very low. They've got their eyes again over here onto that next into oh man. There's going to be a Shallow coming out. The BKB going to get used here on Gabby on the back line, so we do lose Tims finally. He's going to actually come back and try to get back into the fray of things, but I don't know about this. All right, the glare coming out here from the Lich. Lich is going to get just burst down by Gabby. And the rest of the team kind of trying to run themselves away. Get that enter over here. There's going to be, oh, look at the nuke damage coming out.
Oh,
now Gabby gets himself a double kill. And now it looks like Brewmaster splits over. He's got no mana. He's got no way to escape out of this. Trying to get out, but you know what? That's a triple coming out for Gabby. And Shadow Demon.
Oh, he's next.
He's out too.
Is the turnaround. Did you see, like, the Juggernaut with that minus armor on him just melting to his own right clicks from the reflection?
Well, that on top of his Mjolnir proc is what killed him too. His Mjolnir proc actually hit the spiked carapace of Nyx Assassin, which stunned him on the uphill there as they were engaging, and he had no chance to react. So yeah, that with the mix with the minus armor, he just dropped. And I mean, that all started with the misplay from Armel, frankly. Him waveforming in like that is so aggressively getting himself killed. You figure that was going to be a backfire.
Right up to Mordor, if you notice, too. He had no
right
vision over there. Just goes right on
Mount
in.
Doom.
Gets blown up.
But obviously it proved to be a great buyback, and we saw that BKB of Gabby coming into play, too.
I mean, he didn't really do anything during the BKB, though. That was the most, like, I was going to say that after the fight, which I was at that point kind of sure that they were going to lose it. Like, oh, did you see how he just stood there with the BKB on and hit absolutely nobody for 10 seconds? Well, maybe WG thought after that BKB got used that they could stay there and take the fight even with Armel buying back, and they just could not because all of their important ults were down.
I did like how Armel during that fight turned into the Dragon Knight several times, so that way he could use the stun to get himself out and his teammate there. Some nice play.
Yeah, he's switching between that and the Brewmaster, seems like.
Yeah.
So they do have to
because they need lockdown too.
Now.
Like the more lockdown that they can get during some of these fights. Or Dragon Form, of course, is always great. But
WG Unity is feeling almost desperate here. They're going to backdoor protection.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know. Maybe they're hoping to like get the fort out. There's a nice spike carapace coming through here.
Maledict as well.
Nella running away with the Frost Shield, but they're going back in. The racks, they're going for the ranged racks. Easier one, of course. No fortification. No, they do have it. We'll pop it there. Omni Slash is ready from the Juggernaut if need be.
But Grave
Stun
is
miss.
also ready.
And nope, they just TP out actually, so they don't even get the range racks. They got fortification use, I suppose. Roshan is up, and again with the Shrine kill at the top two, they were probably thinking Roshan now.
Yep, you're completely right there. And one of the things that I'm starting to notice is that this draft from TNC actually has a lot less big ults to rely on, so they can hold that high ground even when WG just comes storming right on back. So they're not lacking any of their abilities, and WG are. Didn't have a split in that fight. Didn't have the Omni Slash in that second high ground fight either. So they were waiting for those again.
Dipping out.
Level 20 for Terrorblade, pretty important there too, that reflection cooldown as a result. But yeah, they know this is happening. Again, the case of can they feel confident trying to stop this?
I like how they're using the Terrorblade illusions for their own purposes here as well.
They're not even going to try. I can't blame them.
They can't initiate.
Yeah.
If they want to defend us, they have to be there earlier. It's going to always be like that if you have a lineup that can't.
What you doing? Oh, why
so much for not trying.
That's not a good idea there.
Don't do that, please.
Gabby's in trouble.
Oh boy, Gabby. He's looking. He's trying to find any help. There's going to be a nice Shallow Grave, though, coming out from the Dazzle. Dazzle can't do anything else beyond that, though. Now he's going to spend some time up in the air. Thunder is going to come out. He's going to sacrifice his own teammate here. Ninja Boogie, you know what? Sometimes you just got to do it. But in the back lines, see that we lose a Shadow Demon. They're still chasing after Gabby here. Oh, this is not looking good right now. He doesn't have Dazzle to really help him out. Dazzle sitting further back. Witch Doctor coming in, though. He's looking for maybe trying to get a cask off. There's going to be the turnaround. BKB comes out over here onto Gabby. BKB just getting popped over on the Dragon Knight as well in the back lines. We see the Jug trying to spin himself out. Gabby's got that Scotty up and running. He's going to get thrown into that disruption. Frost Shield getting used. Ninja Boogie, he's trying whatever he can. Another Shallow Grave coming out from the Dazzle. And it looks like we're still going to end up losing Gabby. And Armel is just on a roll. Takes out Kong. There's going to be the payback coming out from the Lich, but he's already used a lot of those spells. Armel, he's trying so much. His stress really wants to get the kill over there. And he's still searching for it. We'll actually pop, though, to that Maledict. Shallow Grave again coming out from Cuckoo. He's trying his best to keep him alive for as long as possible. Waveform comes out. Armel actually going to make it out. But there was a lot of buybacks during all that. My goodness.
Now they should be able to break.
There is still a buyback on Gabby, but he will not have minimal.
Yeah,
I don't think he wants to go into that.
And you see Shadow Demon using the illusion.
Yeah, I think this is the one Rax that you're comfortable with losing. You're just trying to go straight through.
It's a creep wave.
Oh man, look at that. Just
yeah, see this is where Shadow Demon's extra powerful.
All right, Waveform coming through here, Armel. Oh, the Chain Frost getting thrown out, though. We've got the BKBs up and running again. Another Shallow Grave coming out, trying to keep Armel alive. They go throw him out over here, and he's got that Terrorblade just trying to run himself away. He needs to be super, super careful. Warriors just eyes on the prize right now. We'll turn their attention to the racks, take it, and it looks like they're on the retreat.
If that at least stopped Warriors from switching over to the bottom side. So that's a slight win for TNC there, even if they had to spend like a lot of effort and spells into it.
Yeah, see what you're saying, but I mean, still, WG Unity has to feel fantastic on the outcome at the same time.
I mean, that's dangerous though. That's dangerous. They're not actually ahead in net worth.
Yeah, the net worth continues to be very even. But again, I honestly go back to the idea that Shadow Demon can create Terrorblade and use it against himself, as we almost saw there with that push. And that's just going to continue to scale. So no matter how farm Terrorblade gets, he's going to have to worry about that against himself. So they have that working for them. As that's going to be Shrenko. Wow. Coming out from TNC, actually.
It was about time. I wanted to kind of draw attention to that TNC, after their mid tower push, hasn't actually been on the Radiant side of this map at all. Had been playing defensive that whole time. Only now they come out to take care of it.
And you know what Armel just picked up? His level 20, he actually gets the Morph allies. And I assume that's probably because of the Terrorblade. So he's going to transform into Terrorblade to pop that meta.
It's a lot of Terrorblades.
It's a lot of Terrorblades.
Yeah.
A lot of metamorphosis going on.
I mean, on the flip side of that, though, Shadow Demon can make even more Terrorblades.
Yeah,
Let's just see how many Terrorblades we can actually get in one game. Oh, they can't find him in time! Oh, no, they find the Dazzle. They grab Cuckoo. Disruption, and that is a dead Dazzle.
I guess Cuckoo will be happy that it's him instead of Gabby, but yeah, you really don't want to lose any heroes there.
They almost managed to get him out in time.
This team's gonna like sneak a rune here. Just one. Don't be greedy now. Don't be greedy, my boy.
Still 30 seconds before the rune, so plenty of time.
Well, he's actually... I think he realized that he doesn't actually have enough time, so he's gonna have to try to sneak in through the backlines of this.
Well, that was an early fort.
Aegis still has a minute on it, I want to say at least. Yeah, about a minute left.
Yeah, Tim's got Courier. I was watching that on the minimap.
Going in. Gabby pops Reflection. He's got Sunder if need be, but he's just going to keep his distance. Meanwhile, Brewmaster is picked off. He could not Primal Split. That's a huge start for TNC, actually. Not having to worry about that Primal Split of the Brewlings, and they want to chase for more. There's going to be the buyback, though. The Omni Slash bouncing around a couple of targets. Armel, he's tanked up, though. It's too many targets. Obviously, the attack speed really kicking in there as expected. The Blade 3 on top of that Ninja Boogie. Shallow Grave saves him for the time being. The BKB of Dragonite. Cask bouncing around, about to back over to him and back to the Juggernaut. But he's able to stand his ground for now. Armel morphs back into himself, and the damage on a Juggernaut. Going to kill Gabby. He's trying to go for it. Sunder not ready to go. That armor's kicking in, but there's the Aegis finally popped on Juggernaut. That had to be getting close to being reclaimed, by the way. So, gonna be thinking the lucky stars on that one. But Gabby does remain alive as well. And I suppose the only kill actually was really the Brewmaster, who bought back in the end.
Look at that healing ward over there. That's made by Armel. He morphed into the Juggernaut and then cast the healing ward.
Yeah, this is...
Look at the Terrorblade having to fight himself.
The Reflection spam, though, they can hold. Armel spinning. That's the Juggernaut. That purge of Shadow Demon. They're locking him in place. They get the stun, and it is going to be enough damage to take him out. 100 seconds he's dead for. He has a buyback. Probably going to come into play. The Primal Split active as well from Brewmaster for now. There's the buyback of Morphling in the midst of that. Who's that dying? That's Dazzle. Gets the Force Staff off. Gabby's low on life. He does have a Sunder, though. Popping it with Reflection, and the Sunder going on to Nico Baby. Nico Baby having to respect it, running away as he drops low on life. Brewmaster coming back together. The Frost Shield, he's just going to tank as much damage as possible.
It's a dieback, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is a dieback.
Oh, no.
Absolutely, 80 seconds. So they did get a buyback on Morphling.
Yes.
Yeah, the gold's still favoring the Radiant side, but ultimately the Barracks staying alive for TNC.
And TNC could actually go for some form of reprisal here if they want to, but... Oh. Yeah, you're getting seen by.
It's still been fairly neck and neck this entire time, too, which is pretty interesting the way this... Yeah, look at the graph here. It did go a little bit up towards TNC, but we're headed back up again.
That butterfly is going to be huge on Juggernaut. I don't think MKB is a concern right now from either core. And Terrorblade, I suppose, could get it maybe if he sees that adjustment being made, but he's building a butterfly himself, actually, it looks like. So obviously going to be big on him, too. But I do think for Juggernaut, that could be a game decider item.
Everyone just sort of taking the time to breathe right now. The TNC would rather really not be doing anything just yet.
Oh, there's the win probability here.
Yeah, I think it's very close. Like, as I said before, WG just do not have enough of a distance on his faster draft of theirs in order to confidently claim that they got this one in the pocket. They really don't. And luckily for them, they also realize it. They know that they've been playing on a knife's edge the entire time. They look very sharp, very ready to take this game. Whereas TNC, I feel that they have been a little bit more hit and miss.
Yeah, Skriffle's kind of highlighting the hero, though. I continue to go back to Shadow Demon is going to be the ultimate reason why WG Unity will be able to scale into this late game anyways. No matter what, he's always going to be able to use your best weapons against you with the illusion creation. So the fact that we happen to be going late, I don't think is also a worry necessarily for WG Unity either. They would have liked to win this earlier on, of course. That's where they had a bigger advantage, but they most certainly could still compete here.
I think they're up against two things, though, like their own nerves at having to beat TNC and TNC's superior map play. Like, the way that TNC has been split pushing this out and making their decisions, especially around where Gabby played, I'm not sure if they'll get to use the Shadow Demon as much as they want to. Like, they need to keep pushing. They need to keep forcing these high ground engagements for TNC where they are actually 5 versus 5 instead of getting split pushed out. But by this point in the game, as you can see, Gabby is going to cut with the mid wave with his illusions now. He's also on the bot wave, all the way over towards that Rax. And there's no tower up there anymore either. He's been working on that.
Yeah, he finishes his own butterfly.
Just force the Brewmaster back here to have to deal with it. Look at how much effort it's taken, though, just to take down those illusions.
Yeah, and they showed 2 heroes there, so now they know they have to be really careful in mid. And Tims is actually looking to get this Lich. No, he can't fight him in time. But I am not sure if this Shadow Demon is going to get the 5v5 engagement that he really wants. Waiting.
Juggernaut's going in.
He's going.
DK puts the stun on a Dazzle off the bat. No Shallow Grave, but maybe 4 step away. And there's a Shallow Grave, so he does get it off. He's going to go for the TP play, and he somehow makes it out. That is huge for TNC. I don't know if he had a buyback. Yeah, he did not have a buyback, so that's extra big for TNC right there. Jeez.
That Justice narrowly missed Tims, too. Otherwise, they would probably chase after him.
And Tims just sniped a DD rune, didn't he?
Yeah, Tim's got it.
So that's a DD that is not going to WG to capitalize off of that pick off right there. And once again, the illusions are on the bot racks. Good luck, have fun.
It's a lot of Terror Blades.
Yeah. You can't, like, at this point in the game, you can't hold that off with just the one wave pushing support anymore.
Nyx is just having fun with the DK.
Yeah, he's bluffing right there. He's saying, "Do you really want to fight me? My entire team might be behind me."
Now, as I mentioned earlier, the Butterfly's going to be big on Juggernaut, but to be fair, Terrorblades, he's already working on the MKB. 2,300 gold saved up, so it is going to come sooner than later, unfortunately, for the Juggernaut, but still a good item. Going to use that to push out the bottom lane for now, but you're right, yeah, Terrorblade, Gabby is deserving credit, no doubt, for giving TNC some good hope themselves. They have that 2,000 net worth lead, but I go back to, I don't think net worth really even matters in a game like this anymore.
And this is where you can get the 5v5 Roche pit.
Yeah, tier 3 Roshan, right? So, gonna have a shard as well.
Oh, they're actually fighting.
Big catch right there. That's the Witch Doctor. Shallow Grave saves him for now. BKB up on the DK.
Is down. He doesn't have any buyback.
He's just slowing down. They've actually got a sheep up and running over here. Look at that slow coming up with the Scotty. The DK trying to get himself out. They do eventually take him down. They find the kill as well over onto Tims. And now Juggernaut forced to run himself out. Armel going to get placed in that bubble. Disruption going to buy a little bit more time here. But they'll just turn back around. They seem happy with the fact that they pushed them back. They've got the kill on the Brewmaster. And they get the buyback coming out from the DK too, so.
Oh, they should be extremely happy because this is where like the 5v5 was supposed to take place. And now there is no 5v5. Although Tims is like, they are 4v4 right now.
I mean, the pickup on the Brew really just kind of solidified. Oh, he went right in. Immediately the sheep comes out. A couple bounces also coming out from the Witch Doctor.
Nick Spy's back. It's taking a while to get here, though. But yeah, Roshan still has plenty of life, and the metaform is wearing off soon. In fact, it already has worn off, so Gabby not as interested anymore.
It's low. They can't really leave this.
Yeah.
They have to go back in.
They need to be so careful,
They have to, but Gabby at the same time is like, come on.
They send Armel into the pit.
Guardian Greaves doing their job.
Frost Shield going in. They just walk on in there, followed up with the disruption.
Get it.
Coming through. There's going to be the spin coming out as well. Waveform coming out. They've got their eyes over here on the side.
Oh,
they do
Gabby
manage to get that Aegis, though, up and running over on the Terrorblade. Now, there's going to be the slow coming out. It looks like, yeah, that's a dead DK. He doesn't have that buyback, like you said. Juggernaut in for a lot of trouble. He can't get out fast enough. He's all hexed up. He's going to try to go. He got that spin turning around. Should be able to make it out, but...
That was very close. And the Brewmaster was just not back in that fight in time. It was so bloody close, but he could not turn the tide of that fight.
You have those creeps going right into the base, so someone's going to have to go home and deal with that.
I'm not sure, actually. As long as they keep the mid-wave out, like, those creeps are going to die on the towers.
Yeah, no,
oh, they have creeps in the base in the bottom here, too. Yeah, no, this is the time for sure.
If you go back for that, you do not have your eyes on the prize, and TNC definitely do.
That Brewmaster all of a sudden is missing a lot of health.
See, 25, yeah, no, he's still going 23. He doesn't have the Southern Talent yet, but...
We haven't actually seen the morph turn into Terrorblade yet, have we?
No, yeah, he hasn't been doing that, actually. So, yeah, I don't know why he got that talent. I haven't been noticing what he's been transferred into, but you see right there, he's a Shadow Demon even, so it's not even necessary for that.
Oh, he's making his own Terrorblade illusion.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously good, too.
Bottom lane here, looks like Tim's gonna have to walk himself out. God, look at the slow of the Hex coming out over here. Oh my goodness. This Brewmaster is having a rough time. Well. Bottom lane Ninja Boogie taken down. That's a big chunk of their team fight. They take down the Brewmaster. There's no buyback on him. So, buyback coming out from the Lich. They've got that Hex again. Oh no, Juggernaut. Juggernaut's gonna get taken out. This is looking real good right now for TNC. Yeah, the tips are coming out.
He has buyback, but I assume they're just giving up here.
Yeah, they had such a good lead too, but...
Like, did you see the way that Ninja Boogie baited that Juggernaut in after him and he died, but in the meanwhile the Juggernaut paid the price with the death of his Brewmaster on the other side, and after that just dies himself because he gets cut off. Like, the strategy in these team fights is just so good.
So he does fight back as DK resurrects. That's what they're going for right there, but Terrorblade is busy killing the tier 4, and now the Ancient is exposed. Gabby is getting low, however, and he does not have his under currently. Omni-Slash bouncing around. It's not going to be enough to kill him initially, but the Dragon Tail's done setting up the gaze, but there's that shallow grave, even disruption coming out on top of that. So he's going to be able to nope, never mind. There's the Aegis use instead. So he has
I think you're okay with this.
Oh, yeah.
Dire Courier actually gets taken down with the Ethereal Blade, so that's actually pretty huge right now if they can't finish this up. And it looks like they're trying to play a little bit safe here coming out from the side of TNC.
I think the Aegis popping right there gives them the idea that maybe they should be careful a little bit. They also tried to force staff the Terrorblade out and instead force staffed him deeper in. It's kind of awkward.
Yep.
Oh, so Terrorblade's the one with the refresher shard too. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Double BKB, double meta. It's going to be so good.
And there's the Sunder cooldown. West Frog
has been doing so much work too in a lot of these fights.
5-second cooldown. You have a shallow grave that's at 3.6 seconds.
How?
Yeah, Arcane Rune's pretty good.
How is anyone going to die ever?
That's insane.
I'm sure that's what Warriors
like, even without the
now.
Arcane Rune, it's only what? Like it's still a very short cooldown. Yeah, you look at the side, 4.4 seconds. Got Tinker up in here.
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous. You know, Dazzle twirls around. He probably makes the rearm noises with his mouth.
There's the MKB too. So now he has a bit of an answer to the butterfly, just raw damage in general.
Yeah, they are all set up.
Okay, yeah, this Terrorblade's extra scary now.
Yeah, he's got the minus 35 seconds under cooldown. I hate that. It drives me nuts. I'm like, oh, herder, I'm a Terrorblade. I'm just gonna hit my buttons again. You're never gonna kill me.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
It's a very, like, delicate and risky ability though. Like, on one hand it feels so bullshit because, you know, you always see these Terrorblades pulling it off when they are almost dead, but on the other hand, like, that's what makes it extra risky. How many people in your pubs have died because they were too greedy on not popping their BKBs?
But you also got to keep in mind, Cuckoo has been on point this game. Like, these shallows have been so good. You know, he's been able to get that Shadow Wave off. Because it really feels like the Witch Doctor is... I don't want to say that he's being used for initiation, but like that cask is so important, right?
Yeah.
He's got to be able to get like the perfect positioning on that so they can get in and just find this opening. So Tier 2 is going to go down here on top. They're going to make their way, creep their way forward here.
Ninja Boogie has been cannon fodder a lot.
No buyback.
Yeah, that's a Hex. He's going to turn back around. The jump forward, though, coming out from the DK. He pops his own. BKB, they get some of this Chain Frost damage out. Not going to be quite enough, though.
So many illusions.
Cast going through again. There's just this cluster of heroes all over here. Oh, nice Shadow Grave again coming out from Cuckoo. Going to try to keep his Terrorblade alive just a little bit longer. They're going to use the Sunder, use it over onto Ninja Boogie. Ninja Boogie says that's fine. And he's going to walk over here and stun coming out. They found the Shadow Demon. Can they get this kill over here? It's going to be the Frost Shield coming out, but he will fall. Another Shadow Grave coming out here from Ninja Boogie. They'll be able to take down the DK. Or sorry, not the DK, the Brewmaster, and he does have buyback, but he does not have split. So they're going to buy back over on the Shadow Demon, buy back over on the Brewmaster, and they're just going to try to put some more damage over here onto the tower. There's a jump forward again coming out from Tims. They've got their eyes over here. Sunder comes out and still got that shallow up. It's just going to be able to turn around. Oh man, this Brewmaster has to be so careful here. He just bought back. And look at the damage, just like they can't.
Yeah.
The cooldown on these Guardian Greaves as well. Cuckoo is just the engine that's keeping this entire siege machine working, and it's very hard because they're getting spammed out by the Shadow Demon, they're getting spammed out by the illusions from the Juggernaut. This is a really tough siege, and they're just keeping at it.
And they have the Fruit of Restoration ticking this whole time, so yeah.
Gabby again. They get the Shallow Grave coming out.
Thunder's up, it's okay.
Everything is up. Are you kidding me? Like, Dazzle's got all the kit that he could ever need here. You've got the Sun. You got the BKB back up again. Coming out here from Terrorblade. No more refresher, though. Oh, again, Shallow Grave coming out. Buys a little bit more time. There's going to be the Hex again. They swap it out.
Gosh.
This is 35-second cooldown. Are you kidding me?
Just give up, please.
No, this is what TNC has been working towards the entire game. I bet they are very thankful to WG that they let them go all the way here, because they've been very carefully building up to this point.
Yeah,
so much patience.
I mean, they're still fighting. They're not ready to give this up.
Oh,
they're not going to walk away.
They are not.
I like it. I like the heart coming out from these guys, you know? Never give up. That's a very dead Dragonite, though. And here comes the Jug. He's going to try to keep finding themselves open. Can they get the kill on him? No, there's going to be the save. Or not the save, the disruption coming out. Banishment. He's got that Thunder off, though. It doesn't matter. He's back up and running. He's got the rest of his team sitting behind him. This base is just slowly getting ripped apart here.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that was actually Shadow Demon's disruption. Yeah. So that actually saved the Terrorblade there. Because I don't think Armel was morphed into Shadow Demon at that point.
No, I don't think he was.
GG.
Cuckoo saved Tims and nearly killed his Terrorblade there, but luckily for him, a mistake is followed with a mistake.
Yeah, at that point though, it was pretty much over. It's safe to say. And now going back to your point too, Kips, as far as TNC, you know, thanking WG that they let them get to that. I think credit to TNC in terms of holding as long as they did, and they played very well at their base too. So obviously deserving the props there. But yeah, by the time the late game came around, of course, it was a scary lineup, and that proved to show there.
Yeah, this is a really scary game, and you gotta play it very tight right from the beginning. Like, a lot of teams are like, all right, you know what, we're gonna win late game anyway, so we can just sort of do stuff. No, they were disciplined right from the very start, even though they weren't gonna win this until like 40 minutes.
They stayed very calm, and they were very disciplined, which I was very impressed about, because the Warriors, they were really like looking very, very strong, like they were going to run them over, but they paced themselves. They said, all right, you know, this is happening, but we're going to make sure that our Terrorblade continues to farm. We're going to make sure that, you know, we just take our time and we don't push it too hard, because otherwise everything would have unraveled, because again, pretty greedy. But I do like the fact that they switched Cuckoo over to that core role on that Dazzle. I think that made a big difference, because looking at the draft, which I was like, I don't know about this. But
yeah, that made so much more sense. As I said before, I don't know why I didn't think of that. What I am thinking about though is that I want my point over there.
Do I get it because I switched once I saw that the Dazzle was core? Does that count?
You don't.
Otherwise, I would have also gotten the points.
That's true. That's true for the Grimstroke.
I sucked that one up. You can take this.
All right, no, for sure. For sure.
WG Unity played well, though. I expect them to come out in Game 2 and put up contention here, because, again, this is one of those going into the series, you almost expect it to be a 2-0 TNC. But I think that game, if anything, helped change their mind a little bit in terms of, all right, we could have a 3-game series here, absolutely. But
it's gonna be hard though, because they were in the driver's seat this entire game, and they were pretty roughly kicked out of it by the end of the game.
Yeah.
And they gotta really reset really hard right now, and that's rough.
Yeah, I was about to say, is this gonna make them a bit tilted going into game number 2 because of the fact that it was very much in their hands, and just a couple bad fights, a couple little mistakes, and just allowing it to go a bit too long ended up being their downfall.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see, aren't we?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So, all right. I'm.
Got the break?
Yeah, I was waiting to hear, like, are we supposed to keep going? Or, but yeah,
we tell them.
We are going to take a short break here, and we'll be back with game number 2.